Welcome back, everybody. What's going on? Good morning. It is another episode of Seahawks Now. Today, we are talking about Jalen Milroe and Gray Zabel. They've signed their rookie contracts. Plus, the NFL schedule has been released for all 32 teams. We're going to discuss the Seahawks schedule, analyze just what does it mean for this team, and then give at the very end our prediction, my prediction, for how the season will go next year. All right, guys, let's get into it. A lot of fun stuff to talk about today. But first off, Jalen Milroe, Gray Zabel, they've signed their rookie contracts. Gray Zabel, first off, he signs a 4-year, $18 million contract. Jalen Milroe, he gets a 4-year contract worth $6.2 million with salaries of $840,000 next year, $1 million in 2026, $1.1 million in 2027, and then $1.2 million in 2028. That value is essentially predetermined by Jalen Milroe's draft position based off of the rookie scale. He also gets a $1.1 million signing bonus. It is a 4-year deal. There's not going to be a 5th-year option. He will actually earn the 4th most money over his first 4 years among the quarterbacks drafted. He's making less money than Tyler Shuck. He's making less money than more than Dylan Gabriel. He's making less than Jackson Dart. And he's also, of course, making less than the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. So, yeah, not a terrible contract at all. Obviously, he's going to get, hopefully, an opportunity to play in Seattle, maybe as a starter, more likely probably as a backup, as a guy who can, play here and there, come in on some package plays. And, if anything happens to Sam Darnold, I'm sure that Jalen Milroe will be there to back him up. But, yeah, chances are this is a good deal for a backup quarterback. A lot of backup quarterbacks these days get paid a lot more, than $1 million a season. So, as a rookie contract, I'm all there for it. Gray Zabel, meanwhile, again, you're getting really good value from the offensive, from the left guard position. I think that's where he's going to be playing his guard. And you're getting really good value for guard if Gray Zabel is, $18 million for the next 4 seasons. So it comes out to about $4.5 million per year for him. Really good, really cheap contracts for both of them. And obviously that's how it works when you are rookies. All right, let's move on. We're talking about the Seahawks full schedule. It has been released. And this is going to be really interesting to look at because obviously we know what the games are, but the schedule paints a bigger picture, right? Because all of a sudden now you can see who do we get at home, who do we get on the road, and where they're all going to line up. Which days are we going to have to play Thursday? When are we going to have to play on Monday? How's that come into play? Because there's sometimes if it's a toss-up game, if it's a game where there's 2 teams that are very similar level, it can come down to, which team has had better rest, which team is coming off of a bye, which team isn't. That sort of thing really can affect the way that the schedule breaks down. So that's what we're going to be looking at right now. In the preseason, we start off with a game against the Raiders. Former head coach Pete Carroll coming to town. So that's going to be interesting. They have not announced where it will be or when. But that's going to be our week 1 preseason game. No, we do. It is at Lumen Field. So it is going to be in Seattle. But no date announced there. Then we also host the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a big one for probably a lot. But yeah, a lot of fans going to be at both of these games. Thinking about Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes coming to town. He probably won't play, but maybe Gardner Minshew will, a Washington State University grad. This is a team with a massive fan base. They just went to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. For the last 5, they've won 3 rings. Yeah, this totally makes sense that this would be a big game for crowds. And then week 3 of the preseason, we go to Green Bay at Lambeau Field against the Packers. Hopefully we'll be seeing a lot of Jalen Milroe in the preseason, a little bit of Sam Darnold. Should be a really interesting preseason. So we get to the regular season, the Seahawks opening with the 49ers at home. Then they go on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they start with the rival. Then they go to play against DK Metcalf. That'll be interesting, right off the bat, kind of a revenge game for DK. Meanwhile, the Seahawks not facing Russ, obviously, because he is not with the Steelers anymore. Would have been fun if it happened. Right now, Steelers, they don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers? Maybe. Then we come home week 3 against the New Orleans Saints, another team who we're not sure who their quarterback's going to be either. Then they go at Arizona in week 4. They host Tampa Bay. Oh, so at Arizona, by the way, that is a Thursday game. So our first primetime game of the season is Thursday night at Arizona. Kind of feels like that's going to be one of those clunkers of a Thursday night game, to me at least. I feel like every time we play at Arizona, it's always kind of a weird game. Arizona's not that good, but they could be pesky. You never know. We come home week 5, we get a little bit of extra rest after Thursday night, and then we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We play them at home. We play week 6. We go on the road to Jacksonville against the Jaguars. Week 7, we have a Monday night game against the Houston Texans. So that's going to be an interesting game as well. That's at home. So our first home primetime game is October 20th. We host the Houston Texans. Then week 8, we got a bye. So the bye comes in the middle of the season. I like it. Gives us time to recover from injuries. Week 9, we go back on the road at Washington. That's going to be a Sunday night football game. So a third primetime game comes at Washington. Be very interesting to see. What I really would be interested in is, depending on how it's been up to that point, could Jalen Milroe have become the starting quarterback by then? I don't know, but we'd be really interested to see Daniels versus Milroe, but probably not. But that'll be week 9. Then week 10, we host Arizona. That's just a Sunday day game. Week 11, we go to the Rams. Again, that's a Sunday day game. Week 12, we stay on the road for a second straight week at Tennessee, and again on Sunday morning. Week 13, another one on Sunday morning, is we host Minnesota, so kind of a Sam Darnold revenge game. They didn't want to pay him. Now he's with Seattle. We'll see how that one goes. Week 14, we go to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Again, Sunday morning. Week 15, Sunday morning, we host the Colts. Week 16, we have our fourth primetime game of the season. It's Thursday, going to be against the Rams, a Thursday night game, and that is hosting the Rams. So we host our second primetime game. So we end up with 4 primetime games, 2 at home, 2 on the road. And then finally, week 17 against the Panthers and week 18 against the 49ers. Both of those are on the road, so we close with 2 road games, and there's no time or date set for those yet. It'll depend on, how everything gets flexed into things. Christmas does fall on a Thursday, which means there's probably going to be week 17 is going to be crazy because they're going to want to do games on a Wednesday for Christmas Eve. They're going to want to do Thursday games for Christmas Day. They're probably going to do a Friday game. Probably going to do a Saturday game, who knows, and then Sunday, Monday. So that could be one of those weird weeks where there's primetime football happening every single day. And if we're in the mix, if we're contenders by then, they'll probably flex us in. And then also that final game against the 49ers, no time or date yet on that one as well. That one will be falling right around the New Year, right around New Year's weekend, in fact. So that's another one where if us and the 49ers are really close, really tight in that divisional race, then there's a very high likelihood that game could also get flexed into a New Year's primetime game slot. But yeah, I do like what they're doing here. The season's going to start a little bit earlier. It starts on the 7th. I feel like in recent years, it's kind of started more like the second week of September. So I like that it's starting on September 7th. It's kicking off right away. So they're not wasting any time this year in the NFL. But now let's get into it. Let's analyze, what do I think our record will be? This is very bare bones. I'm probably going to go through more analysis later on, but let's just go through it. Week 1, we host the 49ers. I think it's a close game. Ultimately, I think we win that game. It's at home. I think Sam Darnold gets off to a nice start in Seattle. The Niners, I'm not sure what's going on with them, but they didn't have a great year last year. So I'll take Seattle to win that game. Then they go on the road to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think they will actually lose this game. The Steelers just have a thing about them where no matter who their quarterback is, Mike Tomlin finds ways to win. I think Sam Darnold struggles against that Pittsburgh pass rush. TJ Watt's going to come at him, and Seahawks fall to 1-1. After that, they come home to face the Saints. The Saints, they're just not in a good place. The Seahawks will win that game. I don't even know who the Saints quarterback will be. It sounds like it's going to be either Tyler Shuck or potentially Spencer Rattler, or maybe Jake Hayner. I don't know, but either way, whoever it is, they're not going to beat the Seahawks. It's going to be a 2-1 record for the Seahawks. And then they go at Arizona, and again, like I said, always weird games against the Cardinals. It's Thursday night. I don't know how Sam Darnold's going to look in primetime. Personally, I'm worried about that. I think on the road in primetime game, the Seahawks drop 1 to the Cardinals, fall to 2-2. They come home to face Tampa Bay, and this is another tough game. The Bucs have a really good offense, a really good young quarterback in Baker Mayfield. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the better of the Seahawks, and the Seahawks will fall to 2-3. And then they host the then they go on the road to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a place where the Seahawks have played historically very well, a team that the Seahawks have played very well against. I think they keep up that trend. They beat the Jags, move to 3-3 on the year. Then they host Houston Texans in a Monday night showdown, which apparently is being broadcast on ESPN Plus, is what I'm seeing here, which is kind of unfortunate if you're a regular fan who doesn't pay for ESPN Plus. Kind of a bummer that obviously it's on ESPN Plus, so it's going to be tough to watch that game. But I think they can win this game as well. I think it'll be a really close game at home. I like Houston a lot, but they did kind of, they stumbled last season a little bit. The Seahawks, I think, will be, at this point, feeling better about things. They're going to win this game. They'll be 4-3 going into the bye. And then on the road at Washington, they will lose, unfortunately, after the bye. Despite having that bye week on Sunday Night Football, Jaden Daniels is just too good to be stopped. The Commanders will win that game, and the Seahawks will fall back to 4-4. Week 10, they host the Cardinals at home. I think they win this game, make it 5-4. They get revenge for that earlier loss. But then I think they lose at Los Angeles. I think that's a tough one as well. So they're going to be 5-5 through week 11. Just kind of a middle of the road team. Then they have a game at Tennessee. And this is where I think the Seahawks could really start to maybe stack some wins here. I think the Titans will be better than they were last year, but I don't think they're going to be great. I think the Seahawks win on the road at Tennessee. Then the next week they host Minnesota. And I think Sam Darnold will get his revenge. He beats the Vikings. The Seahawks suddenly are 7-5, looking more and more dangerous. Week 14, they go to Atlanta against Michael Penix Jr. Personally, I'm not sold on Michael Penix Jr. Maybe that's just the anti-Husky bias that I hold as a Cougar fan, but I don't think Michael Penix Jr. is all that good. I think Sam Darnold wins this one as well. And all of a sudden, at 8-5, you're starting to think playoffs. Week 15, they host the Colts, and again, this seems like a game that the Seahawks should be able to win. Anthony Richardson, there's still a lot of questions there. I think they beat the Colts and move to 8-5 on the year. And then in week 6, that would put them at 9-5. That'd win 4 straight. Then in week 16, they're going for a 5th straight win, and I think they get it. They host the Rams Thursday Night Football. Finally, Sam Darnold will get his primetime win with the Seahawks, and all of a sudden at 10-5, this team is going to be thinking, yeah, we could go on a run. Week 17 at Carolina, another very winnable game. I think they win that game as well. 6 wins in a row for the Seahawks. They move to 11-5. And then finally in week 18 at San Francisco, I do think the Niners will get revenge, but by then I don't think it matters. I think the Seahawks are finishing 11-6, and they will be making the playoffs in 2025. Well, that's it for this a little bit of a longer episode today, but I really wanted to go through that schedule and predict all the games. Comment down below, what do you think this record will end up at? Where do you see us finishing in 2025? With all that being said, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more content, and as always, until next time, go Seahawks.